Today's forecast calls for partly cloudy skies in New York City with a high near 57 and a low near 44. It's Friday, March 14th, and this is your Boroughs in Brief. A new report finds Manhattan's median rent hit a record high in February. The following comes from New York One and Patrick Adcroft. Median apartment rent in Manhattan hit a record high in February, while the average rental price rose to nearly $5,400, a new report found. The borough's median rent reached $4,500 as the vacancy rate dipped, marking the highest since the summer of 2023, when it stood at $4,400, according to a Douglas Elliman report prepared by Miller Samuel real estate appraisers and consultants. And in Northwest Queens, median rent was up by 7% year over year in February, from $3,239 to $3,466, and stood nearly 20% higher than it was 5 years ago that month. Manhattan's average rental price, meanwhile, climbed to $5,368, up from $5,130 in January of this year, and $4,985 in February 2024. Rental price per square foot set a new record in Manhattan, too, increasing 7.6% year over year to $90.65. But Manhattan wasn't the only borough with rental prices surging. In Brooklyn, the average rental price per square foot rose to a record high of $59.15, up 7% year over year and 20.7% higher than it was in February 5 years ago, the report noted. The median rental price in Brooklyn rose to $3,600 in February, up from $3,500 in January and $3,499 in February of last year. The average rental price increased to $4,035 compared to $3,965 in January and $3,795 in February 2024. Find the rest of this story right now at ny1.com. No plans this weekend? No worries. Listen up, it's time to check out timeout.com and find 5 things happening in New York City this weekend. First up, it's Luna Luna Forgotten Fantasy. Back in 1987, an art museum park featuring works from Keith Haring, Salvador Dali, Jean-Michel Basquiat, and more delighted visitors in Germany. There were plans for a world tour, but it never happened, and the art was abandoned. Until now, that is. Now you can walk through Luna Luna Forgotten Fantasy, a wonderland featuring a Basquiat Ferris wheel, a Haring carousel, a Liechtenstein labyrinth, puppets, and other immersive experiences in this limited-time installation at the Shed. Luna Luna is, hands down, the coolest art exhibition to open in New York City this year, and it's on view through March 16th, with tickets starting at $44 per person. Next, what about a walking tour? Better yet, what about a historic Women of Central Park walking tour? Take a free hour-long tour of the famed green space alongside the urban park rangers in honor of historic figures like Sojourner Truth and Susan B. Anthony. Join the urban park rangers for an alfresco Women's History Month celebration at Central Park. On Saturday, March 15th, learn about the women who broke records, broke ground, and blazed trails in America and beyond. Kicking off at East 60th Street and 5th Avenue, the park rangers will lead guests through the park honoring these historic figures. The Naked Comedy Show is next. The Naked Comedy Show promises New York's nakedest stand-up comedians. Yes, the comedians are legit naked. At this venue, Bushwick Comedy Club, the audience may not disrobe, but fetish wear and lingerie outfits are allowed. These nights of jokes and genitals will take place on Friday, March 14th and Saturday, March 15th. Just to be clear, phones are not allowed during the show. Next up, attention Seltzer fans. Seltzer Fest 2025 is here. Treat your seltz at Seltzer Fest 2025 this weekend, a one-of-a-kind celebration of all things seltzer. The Brooklyn Seltzer Museum, a museum dedicated to the history, science, and art of the bubbly beverage, is hosting a seltzer celebration on Sunday, March 16th at Industry City. It's hosted on the weekend of National Egg Cream Day, a holiday that celebrates the egg cream and its NYC roots. The event will feature vendors, interactive experiences, live music, celebrity presenters, and a thrilling egg cream competition. Tickets are on sale for $36 for adults, and kids under 18 are free. And finally, come celebrate St. Patrick's Day at the Children's Museum of Manhattan. Don't want to brave the crowds at the St. Patrick's Day Parade? You can still have a festive and family-friendly celebration at the Children's Museum of Manhattan, which will play host to St. Patty's-themed programming all weekend long ahead of the holiday. On Saturday, March 15th and Sunday, March 16th, celebrate Irish culture by exploring the native plants that gave the Emerald Isle its signature green lushness, creating your own coffee filter blooms inspired by the shamrock, taking part in an Irish step dance demonstration with McManus Irish Dance, learning words in the Irish language, and more. That's all for now. My name is Imran Sheikh. Make sure to support and subscribe to your local New York news outlets, like the ones you heard today.
The next stop.
Spoken Layer.